There have been a handful of pitchers all season long that DraftKings routinely disrespects with their price point. And tonight, we've got two of them. You're watching The Perfect Lineup, where Josh Engleman and myself, Dave Loughran, look to build the most beautiful lineup, take down a tournament. Look, we're coming off the holiday weekend, and I think it's high time for us to finally bink one. Hey, this is a tough game, but we got two pitchers, a stack. We're going to let the single lineup sims do the rest of the work. And as always, you guys want to get a free week of the sims for MLB? Just leave your comment down below who you think is going to be the highest scoring stack tonight. Don't forget, Thursday and Friday, there were only 3 people combined who got those right. Not one day they got 3 and then 3 that, no, 3 combined that got those on pretty big slates. So your shot playing this like a tournament and getting a free week is a lot more in reach than you may think. And of course, leave a comment down below. Tell us you love the show. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if it helps you, and let's get into it. All right, so we'll kick it off with our SP1 here. And I'll say this. Listen, Jacob DeGrom's obviously a top option tonight. I just wanted to change things up a little bit. Coming off a 4th of July weekend, go with a cheaper pairing. See what we can come up with. Give Josh a little room to work with on this Monday. Also, kind of odd that while DeGrom has completely eliminated power against righties, and he's going to face a lot of them tonight against the Angels, he has a 19% K rate against them this year. Surprise. Look, I don't think that's, going to be sustainable in a bad way, but also did not expect to see that. However, $8,800 feels like a disrespectful price tag on Christopher Sanchez today. The Giants have the lowest implied total on the slate at 3.5. Oracle Park's one of the friendliest pitcher parks in baseball, albeit not one of the greatest strikeout parks, but still. And Sanchez has just been really damn good. I mean, look, a couple of things to consider here. 1, 26% K rate for Sanchez, 5% barrel rate on the season, 57% ground ball rate, one of the preeminent ground ball pitchers in the league, and a 14% swinging strike rate against lefties and righties alike. The Giants, meanwhile, strike out at the 7th highest clip against lefties, and they're bottom 10 in the league in WRC plus, sitting at 91 on the year. So yeah, of course you can roster DeGrom here, and no one's going to blame you for doing so. You don't need to play this exact lineup trying to use this as guidance. And if the lineup wins, I'm going to tell you, hey, you should have played the exact lineup. But Sanchez is a guy that can pitch remarkably deep into games on a consistent basis. Some books he has an 18.5 outs prop today, 1.5 earned run allowed prop, and a 5.5 K prop. Good enough for me at this price point for sure.
We held off on announcing Thursday's winner until today. We didn't want it to get lost in the shuffle with the 4th of July, but we only had 2 people get it right in the comment section for Thursday's video. Oddly enough, both guys are named Derek. Who could have seen that one coming? So I guarantee you Derek wins, but specifically the winner for Thursday is going to be Derek Wilson 9127. Email support@stokastic.com so that you can get your free week. And if you wanted to win on Friday, it was very simple. You just had to be Bill H, who's listed on the screen right now. You're the only person that got it right on Friday. You should also email support@stokastic.com because you picked up a dub with no competition.
And on to our SP2. I mentioned at the top in that intro, look, I think there are a few pitchers that DraftKings routinely underprices. I mean, to a disrespectful level. So whether or not Kikuchi gives up 12 runs tonight or he strikes out a dozen, he is objectively underpriced at 7,200. I don't think there are any 2 ways around that. He has the 3rd highest top 2 pitcher probability in the top pitchers tool today, despite being the 10th highest priced pitcher on the slate. Mind you, that's the bottom half of pitcher pricing on this slate. He's been oddly dominant at home this year, 26% K rate and a 253 WOBA against. And the Rangers have been unthinkably bad against Southpaws. WRC plus, 28th. WOBA, 29th. ISO, 24th. K rate, 8th highest in the league. Win equity is going to be tough to come by, going up against DeGrom on the other side. But Kikuchi's been spectacular lately, and all season, as a matter of fact, at home. So we're going to ride this wave until it crashes. Or you know what? We're going to ride it until DraftKings decides that they're going to price him above a back of the order AAA swing pitcher that comes up when a team is desperate.
Thanks to Laffy, he has hooked me up with a little bit of extra salary today, and I actually think I'm going to need it because the Cincinnati Reds don't rank very well in our top value metric. Now, if we're looking at anything that we see in our top stacks tool, they are third in top stack. They are 11th in top value. So it's good that we don't need any salary because this lineup isn't going to help us out at all. 8th overall in stack score. That top value mark is bringing it down. They're 3rd in ownership, but I'm very interested in that top stack mark. And so much of it has to do with the park. 122 park factor for home runs this season to either hand. It doesn't matter. It's just massive power. And it's always just been massive power. For the past 6 years, the park factor in Cincinnati has been at least 120 in each individual year. Power is here all the time. And Jansen Junk is giving up at least a little bit of power to lefties. 165 x ISO so far this season. And if you add in the 100 pitches that he threw last year, it jumps up to 193. So he has been giving up pretty decent power to lefties. He gives up some power to righties, but I want to focus most on the lefties if I can. So it's Elly De La Cruz, who we're certainly going to have to pay up for, but Will Benson, Gavin Lux with an MPE, neither one of those guys are too expensive. And then you start having to look at some righties. So you can grab a catcher in Stevenson at a pretty reasonable price tag. You can look at another potential MPE in Encarnacio Strand. So we have some flexibility to put people in different places if we need to. And we've got a top stack score that is really standing out on a day where I don't necessarily think we need to squeeze as much value from the stack. So now we build. We head on over to the single lineup simulator and we figure out just how good of a building block do we give you guys before we finish off the rest of the lineup. I went to Kikuchi and Sanchez, so shout out to Laffy for that. I went Stevenson, Encarnacio Strand, Lux, De La Cruz, and Will Benson, but you can move these guys around pretty easily. The only guy that I wouldn't touch is Elly De La Cruz. He's just going in at short. The rest of these spots, 2 outfielders and a second baseman, we'll figure out what we're getting there simply by clicking complete this lineup to get the optimal plays for what we have left. And that gives us a 2-man Red Sox stack in Romy Gonzalez and Rob Refsnyder, and a one-off bat, which I am more than happy to acquire in Corbin Carroll. If you're going to get a single one-off bat, I'd like it to be someone that's pretty damn good at baseball. I almost said basketball. It never leaves my head. And I'm happy to get a leadoff hitter in Corbin Carroll. Last thing left to do, run lineup simulation. Is that the biggest sim ROI we've seen on this video? No, it's not. 7%, but we're still in the green. 0.6% chance for the win, 5% chance at the top 10 lineup, and a 33% cash rate. It's possible we're eating a little too much ownership here, especially for Romy Gonzalez, who is the second most owned guy in the lineup behind Kikuchi. So that might be a spot where we want to wiggle a little bit and try and get something different. The single lineup sim makes it very easy to do. I could close him out and pick a different second baseman, or we could start from scratch on those 3 extra guys. Whatever you want to do, it can all be handled here. All of those changes that you make should help you acquire the perfect lineup.